this. It was a lot of work. Like, one of my coworkers got COVID this week, so I had to like cover a bunch of shifts. Do you have any idea how annoying it is, like having to deal with all these people taking time off work because they've got this disease that's completely like you can preventable, like you can just not catch it. Like, there's ways to stop getting coronavirus. You know, you get booster shots, vaccines, stay at home. Well, all these people socializing and stuff. Yeah, where's Ciaran?
Where is Ciaran? It's a good question. But really, where is Ciaran?
I don't know.
Oh, he's got coronavirus. That's right.
Oh, I feel a little bit bad. How was your week?
Oh, I had coronavirus.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. So, like, the funniest thing is, like, because of the day, I'm like, I was saying to you off air, I was like, I'm preparing, like, Friday, I should be good to record. And I'm like thinking, and then I had that brain fart where I was like, it's between the cushions week this week. I'm like, well, at least I know what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah.
Like, don't have to put too much effort into it. It's like, you know, episode title, everything's done. I had corona. I had COVID. You know, like whatever. Like it's like there, it's done. What are we talking about this week? COVID. What did we talk about the first episode of this show? COVID.
Like, are we still scared of COVID? Turns out we should have been.
Yeah, it turns out the first episode. Are we gonna take our masks off even though we're allowed to? In retrospect, the answer is probably shouldn't have. You know, like in retrospect, maybe we should have left them on. Maybe we should have left the masks on. Yeah. So I had COVID. I mean, technically, I think I still have COVID, but I'm definitely on the. I'm on the.
On the tail end?
I'm on the tail end for sure. We're as of recording.
You're having short COVID though, you think?
I don't know. Like, long COVID's just the term people use for like long-term effects, isn't it? So what's short COVID?
Yes.
Normal COVID?
Yeah, no, well, you don't have long-term effects is what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't know yet. We'll find out.
Can you taste stuff?
Oh, yeah, I can taste stuff. Yeah. My hunger's the only so no, I'll do the whole story. So everyone wants I don't know if it's exciting, but here's my COVID story. So last Wednesday, no, you're listening to this. It'll be like 2 weeks ago by the time you listen to this, actually. Like 2 weeks ago on a Wednesday. Anyway, it was a Wednesday. I started getting a sore throat, right? And, well, not sore, actually. No, let me clarify. Not sore, dry throat. So it wasn't itchy. It wasn't scratchy. It wasn't hurting to eat. It wasn't hurting to swallow. It was just dry. And I needed to, like, hydrate. And I'm like, bit weird. Probably should test, right? So,
but that happens sometimes. Like, you know, you got your fan on at night.
Yeah, that's the thing. That I was thinking like I wasn't freaking out straight away because I'm like, could just be, you know, could have been like I did have my window open last night. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking like you don't want to jump straight to COVID.
You don't want to be a hypochondriac, yeah.
No, exactly. And I mean like, it's also that thing where I'm like, we're so used to COVID that if anything ever happens, everyone's like, right, there's one sickness in the world. It's COVID, and you can't have anything else. Like it's like you couldn't have anything, you know. So, so I do a test that's negative. I'm like, oh, it must be something else. Especially because I'm thinking I've got no other symptoms. Like I feel totally fine. I don't feel sick. I got nothing. So that Wednesday, I go for a day. I'm like, whatever. Wasn't too bad. It came and went. Like it disappeared maybe for 6 hours. Came back. I'm like, oh, this fucking dry throat thing's back. It's so annoying. So it comes back Thursday. Worse. Now it's like really constantly like in the need to like wet my throat sort of thing to feel better. So I'm like, again, I test again. Negative that day. So I've tested 2 days now.
But you're starting to get symptoms.
No, it's still just the throat.
Still the throat, but you know you could potentially have coronavirus.
Now I'm thinking.
And the rapid test could be wrong.
Yes.
And you went to see Morbius that night, right?
So it came back while I was probably at the cinema. Is the thing.
Yes.
So I started feeling the symptoms while I was at the cinema.
If you gave people coronavirus while Morbius, that'd be the second worst thing that happened.
I was gonna say they fucking deserved it. Yeah. So I was So I probably at work I was fine. It probably would have been that night, either at Morbius or I did see Sonic as well. And look, I'm happy to tell the story.
They didn't deserve it.
Yeah, they didn't. I'm happy to tell the story because I haven't done anything wrong. Like I haven't.
No, you tested negative. So,
yeah.
But if you're sick at all, you should probably not go.
Yeah, for sure. So like I'm at the cinema and these symptoms, or the throat thing comes back, and at this point I'm like, whatever. Like I just have a drink, I get rid of it. Cool story. I go home. I'm still feeling fine other than that. Test again. Negative that night.
Okay.
I'm like,
all good? In the clear.
I'm in the clear, right? Weird. Anyway, so then it goes.
Tell you what, grateful the rapid tests are so available now.
Yeah, I know. Well, I brought a pack that day after work too because I'd already used 2 or whatever, and I was like, no, I'm running low. I better restock. So I did buy one. What day are we up to now? So that's Thursday night, right? Yeah. Movies, yes. Thursday, yes. Friday, I feel pretty much the same. I'm still testing negative. I have to go to work though. And I make the decision to just like pop on a mask and keep a distance sort of thing. Because I'm still testing negative. But I'm thinking, what the fuck? Like, am I going to have to... Like, I'm thinking, at this stage, to be honest, because at this stage, I'm thinking, I've got a throat infection, is what I'm thinking. At this stage, I'm like, I've tested negative several times. I don't have any other symptoms other than this throat thing. Like, I don't have any sniffles. I don't have any body aches. I don't have, any other, I don't have a headache. Any of the other major...
Taste stuff.
Yeah, I don't have any taste stuff. I don't have anything other than this. I'm thinking I've got a throat infection. I'm thinking in my mind at this stage, I'm thinking I still will be careful, but at least for that day, I'm thinking, fuck, I've just got a throat infection. I better get like some,
I just need to power through.
I just need to power through. I need to get some good mouthwash going or something. Get through it, sort of thing.
Some lozenges.
Lozenges, yeah, all that sort of stuff. So that day passes. I don't go anywhere that day. Sad day comes around. I'm feeling exactly the same, but I'm like, I'll just stay home, right? I'm not going to go anywhere today just in case. I didn't test that day because I wasn't going anywhere and I had to work Sunday, right? I'm like, if I'm going to test again, I'll do it Sunday. So I'm not like, because I know these tests are easier to be found, but they still cost money. I don't want to I don't want to burn through them unnecessarily. So I'm like, I'll just chill at home Sunday. Do one Sunday. So I wake up Sunday morning. Again, I just roll over. Throat feels like absolute ass. Do a test. Positive. So that's Sunday. And I'm like...
What's that feeling like?
Actually, I gotta be completely honest. At the time, I was kind of... Now, you'll see my tone changes here as we progress. But at the time, on Sunday, I was like, thank fuck, actually. Not because I was like, I really want COVID. But it was just like, good. Because, like, what the fuck did I have if not... like... To be like, it's COVID, I'm like, good. Because now I can be like, all right, I've got COVID. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Good. I can just stay home. I can stop going out and risking it. Because that's the things with the rules these days. They're like, look, if you test negative, even if you think you got some symptoms, go to work. You know what I mean? Like, the rules all change. Yeah. Like 6 months ago, it was like, you sick? Don't leave the fucking house.
Stay home.
Yeah, like... So
live slowing.
They changed
holy water.
And I mean, that's how it's getting spread more, obviously, is that. And I mean, look, it's not my fault. It's not anyone's fault. Like, the rule, that's the thing. It's just like.
No, that was the plan, technically.
Yeah, yeah.
Because eventually we'll open things up, more people will get it. But, the people are so vaccinated.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be terrible.
Wouldn't be the end of the world. Yeah. And look, I'll clarify. It wasn't the end of the world. It still sucked. So... Which is the funny thing, because usually, like, if I want to compare this to like a flu or a cold, right? You get hit hard, out of nowhere. You're like, I'm fucking sick, and you start you go from 0 to 100. You're like, I got a cold, and then you proceed to get better, right? So on the Sunday, I'm like, it's COVID, no worries. I feel fucking great. I'm about to get a mini holiday. Let's go. I message you Sunday. I'm still good to record tonight. I'm fine. So we record a handful of podcasts that night, right? Sunday night. Bunch of what do you want to watch shit and whatever else. And that night, I took a turn for the worst. I was like, I sort of got my last foot in before then. Because then I would say the Monday, it suddenly was I had a really bad thing with like, I guess, just being tired. Like I took so many fucking naps, just like body exhaustion. Like go up, walk to the kitchen, get like a glass of water, come back and be like, well, I feel like I just walked 10 blocks, like I need to lay down, like just something like absolutely no energy at all. Was sort of out of it. Tuesday, suddenly that's when the nose starts. Sniffles, sinuses, eyes, like constantly watering for maybe the next 2 to 3 days. Couldn't stop them from watering sort of thing. So it was weird though, because I feel like it was the opposite. So if you would, because I just started and I was like, I'm tested positive, mini holiday. And then it was like, nah, get fucked. Like, you got to deal with this shit now, son. So yeah, I mean, I spent until today we're recording this on a Friday night. And I'm still, today was the first day I've got out of bed for like more than, 5-10 minutes at a time since I tested positive. Not even by choice, like just unable to move. And look, I not to scare people off in case they like do get it. Obviously don't get it. But if you do get it,
that's the preference.
Yeah, the preference. But I do know like people that I've worked with, you read about other people, they get it and they literally have nothing, like they'll test positive, slight itch of the throat. They're like, oh, I've got COVID. And that's the worst they get. And by God, do I wish that was my, I kind of wish that's what I just got,
No,
something hard. It hit me hard. Definitely, mostly, I guess, just the tiredness and the lack of energy and that sort of stuff is where I just got hit the hardest. I was like, fucking hell. Like I just can't, and I don't usually get hit that hard, I guess, being sick. Like I don't usually nap that much when I have a cold or anything like that. So I was like, fucking Jesus Christ. So, another thing that sucks is, so you're stuck home for a week. Obviously you can't go anywhere. You gotta do your, see, I thought it was 7 days, inside. It's not. It's 6 days. And on the 7th day you leave like you're Jesus fucking Nazareth Christ. Like they have a little chart. They're like, so.
No, he did it like 3 days.
Yeah, it's true.
It's 7 days.
7 days.
On the 7th day he rested.
On the 7th day he rested, yeah. 7th day.
The holy credit of the world.
7th day I got out. Yeah, because I was like, you look it up obviously on the COVID website or whatever. I got to submit my test. They have a little form like you tested positive, like blah 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 blah. Do all this stuff. You do all the right things as much as you can. They then tell you like today's day 0. So I tested positive on Sunday. That's day 0, and then they tell you on the 7th day you get to leave. So it's Sunday to Sunday, and not Sunday to Sunday you're inside. It's you're in. So don't leave the house from that Sunday, or if you test positive and you're not at home, you're supposed to go home on the 0 day. But then on the next Sunday, on the 7th day, or the next whatever day it is, you leave. You're allowed to leave. So it's really only 6 days inside. But it's confusing because it's day 0 plus 6. So it's 7, but I mean, it could be like 6.5. Really, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Any COVID related questions have you? I don't know. Like between me and Ciaran getting it, and you're like, fuck, am I next?
I mean, the question is it transmitted over the internet? Apparently, it's that's the one I'm worried about at the moment.
I haven't podcasted with Ciaran, so no.
That's true. But I could be asymptomatic, and we didn't realize.
It's true. That could be very, very true.
I mean, but to be honest, a disease that's transmitted over the internet is what we deserve, really.
As a human race? Yeah, probably.
As a human race, yeah.
I already made a joke today. I was like, it's good I can get over it now and I can not have it for 6 months in time to catch it in October, so.
yeah, just in time for PAX,
yeah. Just in time to catch it again at PAX. This is my warm-up, and I will say, like, that I don't, you mentioned on Platt, but I'll mention here, I'm not boosted. So I think maybe that's also why I've had it a little bit
Why it
worse
hit you harder? Yeah.
than people who are boosted. And the only reason I'm not boosted, just to clarify for people like Dylan's an anti-vaxxer. No, I put off getting my booster because I was having all the heart issues, which we talked about last episode of this, like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And my doctor did advise that I can just go get it straight away if I want. I asked if it's okay if I just wait until the meds I'm on and just my general anxiety was to settle down about stuff like that. Because, and he was like, that's totally fine. Just get it as soon as possible. So ideally I was going to get it like this, last week or this week, but I think I have to wait now because there's like a
yeah, you've got a natural.
I've got a natural immune
resistance
or whatever.
I
can't remember exactly how long I have to wait, but anyway, I will get it as soon as I can now. But yeah, I was literally about to get it because I was like coming off my first 28 days of my these other meds I'm on. And I was feeling a lot more comfortable, and then they're like, "Nah, fuck you, have it." That's what you get for waiting. I'm like, motherfucker. But I mean, ideally, I'm hoping that by the time I get my booster, it won't hit me as hard as it's hit some other people, because I know they were saying one of the how'd your booster go? You didn't have any problems, did you?
It's fine.
No. Did you get the same
just
thing?
like every other.
Did you get a different thing or no? Did you
I think I got the same.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting something different because I reckon that's the best way to increase your. You know about this? Do you not know about this?
Yeah, I know about this. I just can't remember.
Yeah. So like, did you get Pfizer first or?
Yeah, I got Pfizer first.
Yeah. So Moderna.
Waited for the Pfizer.
So if you get Pfizer, you're supposed to get Moderna as your booster, and they reckon it's like I think a 90% increase of like a effectiveness or whatever. But yeah, they reckon one of the reasons that people who have been hit hard by the booster, and by hit hard I mean like for example, I know people at my work who it's just like a 24-hour sort of flu, like a hot cold headache, 24 hours gone. But like that sort of thing. They reckon part of the reason is because they moved up the time you could get it, because it used to be like 6 months and then 4 months, and they moved up to 3 months or whatever. So people were getting it like 3 months, and then it was just like a lot for the body to take. So I'm hoping that since it's not the reason I did it, but I am in looking at the bigger picture, I'm hoping by the time I do get my fucking booster now that it won't hit me like a shit ton of brinks.
Did the other two? Well, the one of them.
Yes. So, that's the thing. So in retrospect, I have no idea. Well, that's how. Yeah, I guess I didn't talk about this on here last time, but yeah, well, I kind of did. I guess hinted, but yeah. So the first Pfizer shot I got is when I started getting this pain in my side, which in retrospect was apparently my anxiety. I don't feel like the shot's what caused my anxiety. I feel like potentially it was like the last needle.
You're anxious about potentially having been.
Yeah, I don't feel like. Yeah, but that wasn't like that. It's definitely not like it. I reckon it was something that was playing on my mind, but it wasn't like the everything. Like that's the only reason that I was anxious. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't the be all end all. I think like I was already anxious about stuff, and then the that got put on top being anxious about COVID, and then that was sort of the last straw. And then I got this fucking shot, and all of a sudden I was like getting these. Anyway, I got all these tests done because I thought it was caused by my fucking Pfizer shot. So no, the first one didn't do anything to me. The second one 100% did though, because the second one I got in the hospital. They gave it to me. They sent me out to the waiting room thing, wherever they sit you, and they're like, wait your 15 minutes. Yeah. I'm feeling fine. I'm sitting there. I'm playing Pokemon Go on my phone. Next second, I start feeling a bit woozy. I'm like, I'm just going to put my phone away for a second and just like do some breathing, just like sit straight and be like, in for the mouth, out for the nose sort of thing. I'm like, put phone away. I'm like doing that. And then my whole vision's going blurry. I take my glasses off, like put them in my pocket just to see if that'll help. Vision's still going. I just remember sitting there going, fuck. Fuck. Nurse like walks past, is like, are you okay? I'm like, no. Like, no, not at all. What's wrong? I'm like, can't see anything. She's like, then you just hear her like shout out to someone. This one's passing out. Like, yep. Like, this one is indeed passing out.
Man, imagine being one of the people around you though.
I know that's the worst thing. These motherfuckers sit behind me. That was
especially because people are still coming in from the being vaccinated, and that's the first thing they see.
That's the part that annoyed me the most. Is I'm like, for any anti-vaxxer, like I'm looking like they're like, look at him. he's dying. Like, this is why you shouldn't get shot. This dude's dying.
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of the problem, you know. So, but that was why when I was having all these heart issues, or what I thought was heart issues, because of what happened with my second one, I was like super anxious about getting it. And then even when they said I could, I was like, can I just wait for these pills to settle in? Because like I understand, like you're telling me nothing will go wrong, but I'm like, can I just like focus on one thing at the moment? You know what I mean? Like, can I just focus on like settling into one thing? Let alone like I know if I'd like gone to do it at the time before I'd like sort of settled in, it would have just like flared up my anxiety. You know what I mean? Like, I'm dying. I'm not dying though. It's all in my head, but I'm dying.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I'll wait. And then anyway, I waited and got COVID. So that's my COVID story.
Good times.
Currently, I think like I was looking up like when you're like most spready. What's the word be? Like contagious?
Contagious.
Yes, yeah. So you're most contagious apparently the 2 to 3 days prior to you testing positive, which is hilarious. You know, it's not. So even if you are doing the right thing, even if you were like a fucking, you know, god at like picking up when your body felt sick and you tested and you got a positive that first time you felt like an itch in your throat, it's still like too bad. Yesterday and the day before, that's when you've given it to all your friends.
Already infected a bunch of people.
Yeah,
you've made everybody you care about and love sick.
I'm glad to know that.
So how'd your family react? Actually, yeah, they all got it.
No one's got it that I know of yet. And I assume they would have got it by now, to be honest. I assume they would have got it by now. No one at my work got it from me that I know. Yeah, they tested, yeah. Several times. So, and no one at work has got it since I've got it either. I reckon I actually got it from someone at work in retrospect because someone did get it.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, someone got it on the Monday and I was there on Monday. I had a meeting with this person on the Monday in a enclosed area. So
space, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what it was. And obviously I'm not angry at them. I'm like, this is just the world we
that's the world we
live in. That's the world we live in. So I'm not, there's nothing. And they didn't come to work knowing they had it. You know what I mean? Like it's just not thing. But I'm glad that no one at work has got it since I've been off. So I didn't give it to anyone in those 2 days or whatever when I was there potentially having it. And I've done everything right since I've tested positive. And I mean, the other important thing is that like I didn't, I think the moral of my story, I would say, is like I tested once negative, but I wasn't like, oh, that's it. You know?
Yeah, I'm good.
Like it wasn't until the third test that I got a positive. So I don't think that's a test fault either. From what I understand, that is apparently the tests only pick up a specific element for it, which is only actually supposedly like when you're contagious or relates to. So like that's why they don't pick up if you're asymptomatic or whatever, I think is the thing. Like I don't know. There's like some weird thing there. So like in my mind, at least to make me feel a little bit better, I'm like, okay, so maybe they were testing negative. I did technically have it, but maybe I wasn't contagious at that stage, but I just had it in my body. And then because I've tested again later when I was potentially contagious, that's when it's become positive. So, yeah, anyway, it sucked. I got really bored is the other thing I'll say. Like, that's the other thing. It wasn't a holiday because obviously it felt like shit and just slept a lot and felt like crap. I did watch a lot of like movies and stuff because that's pretty much the only thing I could like that. I just lay there and watch. Like it doesn't require energy, you know. Like I didn't play fuck all, but
yeah.
So yeah, definitely not a holiday. Wouldn't suggest anyone go get COVID to get a holiday. Just take a holiday.
No. But you don't get paid for a holiday. Dude, you know?
Comes out of sick pay.
You get paid for getting COVID, so.
I mean, it's not like it comes out of a magical allowance. Like, it is coming out of your sick pay, so. I mean, you've only got so many hours of sick pay. You don't have sick pay. You're casual, so I guess you can't afford to.
No, but then you got the government. I think they still give you
Do they? I fucking can't
money.
Keep up. I can't keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck knows.
How about WrestleMania this year, huh?
That was
Segue.
So that was like my whole thing. I was like, so I got it right. So sad day, I watched WrestleMania day one. Oh, I had sad day off anyway because day off work. Sunday when I'm supposed to go back to work,
No,
I test positive.
Sunday was the day you.
Sorry, Sunday day one, and then Monday's day two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday test positive. And I think I messaged like buddy, Radio Watson's buddy or whatever. He's like, "Wow, sucks. You got COVID and you have to watch WrestleMania." I was like,
I know. I thought it was a solid night. There were a couple of highlights. The worst kept secret in the industry.
Yeah. Look, if we want to do our wrap up this week's episode with our 2-minute wrestling. Nearly every episode because nearly every episode of the show has a wrestling bit. Night one was the best. The best match of the entire 2 nights was the Bianca Belair match. Of the entire show, I would put that first. I would put Cody's match second. I don't know who the fuck I'd put third. Who else was there? Who else was good? No one.
To me, it's Sami Zayn, Johnny Knoxville.
Really? It's number one?
No, probably like number 2. I like Seth Cody more, I think.
Yeah.
That's number 1.
So that's number 2.
That's got to be in the conversation.
Sammy, the Johnny Knoxville match was entertaining. It's a terrible match of wrestling, though. It was entertaining. I don't hate it, but it's not. It's probably like, I don't know. It's not my top 3. Maybe top 5. It was entertaining. I feel like it went too long though, is my other thing. And it wasn't like paced super well. Like it just seemed to like there wasn't like
it didn't go completely smoothly.
No. Yeah. So
like the mousetrap didn't work properly. And the boot thing.
Number 3.
Wee Man took that liver kick.
That was quite good, actually.
Like a champ.
Number 3, actually. Even though I came into it thinking it was gonna be terrible. Stone Cold versus Kevin Owens. Being my number 3.
Yeah, it's surprising.
I mean,
worthy of the main event.
I went into that being like, when they had rumors that he was going to wrestle, I'm like, I don't need him coming out of retirement. That's dumb. And then when they announced he's doing the KO show, I'm like, whatever, that's dumb. When they turned it to a match, first my brain was like, this is going to be dumb. And then once Stone Cold got into it, and I feel like he like took a couple minutes to sort of get into it, suddenly I was like, fuck, I'm 12 again. I was like,
yeah, I
was all into it. Especially once he got into the beers at the end. Yeah. So I'll probably put that as number 3, sort of. That was really good. The Vince McMahon thing on night 2 was fucking hilarious.
I mean, it's the worst, but it's a great moment.
Pat McAfee, surprisingly good in the ring, I thought.
I mean, not surprising if you saw him wrestle in NXT. So,
but
I guess he was against like Adam Cole, so I mean, it's hard to.
I don't think I haven't seen
great.
any Pat stuff before prior to this, so I was quite surprised. But yeah, I thought night 2 was nowhere near as good as the first one, and the main event sucked ass, but I completely expected it to suck ass.
I mean, yeah, it's the same match we've gotten the last
spear
times these 2 of
spear F4 spear F4.
It's like hit the finishes as quickly as possible.
Yeah, cool story. Fucking terrible. Yeah, I mean, overall it was okay. But then, I mean, like, this guy... But let me just... I'll wave my flag, boy. Well, it's not even a fanboy flag. None of the matches in WrestleMania were as good as the FTR versus Briscoes match at... what the fuck? Supercard of Honor. None of them were as good as that.
What a weekend of wrestling, though.
Yeah, that was a really good weekend of wrestling, but I think WrestleMania was the worst. WrestleMania had the highest, like, entertainment factor. But as far as like good wrestling matches go, WrestleMania didn't have anywhere near the best matches. Like that's the thing.
This is how WWE rolls.
Yeah,
sports entertainment.
Entertainment. Yeah, FTR versus Briscoes was the best match that weekend by far. But yeah, I'd say Bianca's match was the best. Seth versus Cody was the second, and then Stone Cold versus KO. There's my top 3 for you from this year. It was much better than last year's, though, I'll say. Overall, I enjoyed the whole show better than last year's quite a lot. Last year's was way worse than this year, WrestleMania.
Yeah. And then the Raw after sucked.
Yeah, I mean, didn't even need to watch it to know that would happen. But.
Didn't even watch it. Yeah. All you needed to watch was Cody's promo, and that's it.
All right, let's record Arcade Couch.